All right, guys. So this whole course, AP Computer Science A, is all about learning Java. Java is a programming language, just like Python, just like Lua, just like any other programming language out there. But there's something about it that makes it especially different. So we're going to talk about Java, obviously, because that's what the entire course is. You're only learning one programming language. You're going to learn Java the entire way throughout the year. So, what is Java? Okay. So, Java was actually created when I was your age and I was in high school in 1995. It was created by Sun Microsystems, which is now part of Oracle. You might have never heard of Sun Microsystems, but it was everywhere in the late 90s. And you saw this logo everywhere, just like you would see logos today of, I don't know, AMD or NVIDIA. It was part of the reason that the internet boom of the late 90s happened is around the same time that Java was introduced, which was 1995. Okay, before that, C++ had been the dominant programming language. But then you got Windows 95, which was released, and immediately after that, Java was developed, and that helped to the boom of the internet. All right. I always think that where we're at right now is exactly where I was when I was in high school. When I was in high school, is when the internet boom happened. Well, that happened in 1995. Now, what happened in 2023 and these past few years is the AI boom. Okay, we're through another significant time of upheaval, but Java helped rush in the internet boom. You can see here now. These are the the stocks of internet stocks that were actually traded during this time, and you can see how many people got into the internet and how it exploded into the late 90s and early 2000s. Then you have what's called the dot com bubble or dot com bust, where all those startup companies kind of went under as too many people flooded the internet market. And that was partly because of Java. Um, a lot of people are expecting that to happen with us in a few years with AI, but I guess we'll see how it goes. Um, so, what uses Java? Netflix uses Java. Spotify uses Java, and probably one that a lot of you know, Minecraft Java Edition. Minecraft was actually created in Java, and it has since ported over its code base. But originally, Minecraft, developed by Notch, was created in Java. Okay, so the most popular programming languages in the world today, is one of them is JavaScript. Do not confuse that with Java. Java and JavaScript are different. JavaScript is more like to Python, which is quickly becoming the most popular coding language in the world because it's very user friendly. A big barrier to getting into coding is it's difficult to start, and Python is really easy to learn. Once you learn Python, it's a gateway to these other languages. And then you have Java. All right. These are the three most used programming languages today. Now, um, JavaScript and Python, they are what's called interpreted languages. That's code that is being compiled line by line by line. Line one, line two, line three. It's going all in order. Now, given it's doing it really, really quick, but it reads all that code in order. Java is not like that. Java is what we call an object-oriented language. Okay. It is not an interpreted language. So what does that mean? What is object oriented language? You're going to see it as referred to as OOP. Okay. So what is OOP? Well, OOP is contained with all these elements. What we're going to start with first, we're going to start with object and class. We're going to be using object and class this entire 6 weeks, just learning about objects and classes. Once we do that, we're going to move into inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. These are the 6 main components of Java. So let's start looking at what object and class are. Okay, let's say you're a developer and you're making a game called Skyrim. Okay, so this is just one very blurry snapshot of Skyrim. What do you see in this? Well, I see a rock. I see another rock. I see rock. I see rock. Okay. Imagine you're creating a world as big as Skyrim. Okay. And you're coding it. This is what coding just 4 rocks inside of Python would look like. All right. You have 76 lines of code just for 4 rocks inside of Skyrim. These 4 rocks. Okay. Um, so imagine having to code the entire map of Tamriel, which is the game, and that's just rocks. That's not trees. That's not any other objects. Just 4 rocks. And now, what if you could make that completely simple? That's where Java comes in. Okay, so Java uses what's called a class or a blueprint that you can use to create and customize every rock without having to write it from scratch. So how does it work? First of all, you have to know what a blueprint is. If you're a carpenter, an architect, a blueprint is like it's your outline, it's your mold, it's something that if you're going to build a house, you have a blueprint. But every house is a little bit different, but you have that blueprint to work from. So imagine if we made a blueprint for rock. Okay, so this kind of looks like a playing card, like a Magic the Gathering or a Pokemon card. That's how I want you to envision it. Let's make a category or a blueprint for a rock. Now we have to in Java when you write a class, you have to have what it has and what it does. Okay. So in Skyrim, what does every rock have? Okay. What are its characteristics? We're gonna give it a name. It doesn't probably have a real name like Bob or something, but we're gonna give it a name. We're gonna give it a size, and we're gonna give it a color. Now, what does every rock do? Well, not a lot of rocks do things, but as a player, every rock can be thrown and every rock can be broken. All right. So now, if we look at Skyrim, let's say we have this rock. Let's say we have Mossy Stone or Mossy River Stone. That's the name. It's medium. That's the size. It's gray. That's the color. Okay. So we have another one. We have Jagged Stone. It's medium and it's slate. We know that all these rocks are be able to be thrown and broken. We have a trapezoidal rock. We have a dumb stone. All right. So let's, for example, say we want to make this rock. I have a blueprint called rock. How would I write the code to just make this rock? Well, I have the blueprint, so I'm just going to pull from that blueprint and I'm going to write, this is my syntax of how I would create this rock. All right. So on the left is coding one rock in Python. On the right is coding one rock in Java. All right. So you see the difference? 1 line of code versus 21 lines of code. All right. That's one of the benefits of Java.